Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pet Wellness Wednesday. My name is Will, and you guys, this is a very exciting day for us. There's been a lot going on here with Pet Matrix. There's been a lot going on with just the pet wellness industry, and we're super excited because if you're watching this, if you're listening to us, you most likely are part of our focus group. The focus group is aimed for 50 households to receive our products so that we can test the efficacy of what we kind of already know because, our dog's on it. We have other dogs who have been on it already, and we've seen a lot of the amazing results that our furry friends are getting. And so we actually got out and delivered, the first set of products to a chosen few so that they can start enjoying the amazing benefits of the Pet Matrix products. And so if you are going to be receiving them, congratulations. You are part of the focus group. And these all went out, everybody. These are our first set of products, and they are specifically designed to go after specific ailments. Okay. The first one here that you saw is specifically after pain, and our other one is for the immunity and gut. The third one you're going to hear about tonight, our Director of Education, Tanisha, is going to fill you in on all of the good info. But if you do receive this in the mail, all right, understand that there's some kind of fun, cool goodies in there as well. So you guys can experience really what we have in store for you. On the side of the container, you'll see a QR code. That QR code will go ahead and send you over to the website for specifically to a product page for this specific product. The other one, the QR code will take you for the immunity and immune boost product, as well as the gut health product. And they will go over to our product page. We will be looking to put videos on there soon, kind of talking about that as well. But you will also find directions for how to give this to your dog. Okay. Remember, it is a powder. All you're going to do is just take out either a quarter or a half of a teaspoon and put it on top of your pet's food, depending on their weight. Okay. So all those directions and everything will be on there. But man, this is exciting. This is, that labor of love. Have you ever worked so hard and been so passionately involved in anything in your life that it keeps you up at night, right? The anxiety kind of builds, right? Good and bad. Your mind is just racing a mile a minute. Thank goodness I've got my sleep. I'm telling you right now. And it is really this labor of love that is driving us and why we are so excited about getting it into your hands so you can start experiencing everything that we already know because our amazing dog Bay is experiencing it as well. But with that, we do have a couple stragglers out there. Okay, so do me a favor. If you know them, reach out to them. Tell them that we're looking for them. We still need them to fill out that postable because we need their address, okay, in order to send out the products. And that's what that email went out for. And that actually came from summer@mypetmatrix.com. So keep a lookout on it. But if you know these people, please reach out to them, okay? And if you catch this on the replay and you happen to be one of these people, just know that we're waiting to hear from you, okay? Hit me up in a private message in Facebook or Summer or Tanisha. Either way, we'll get that out to you. But the 5 people that we're looking for information for addresses is Tamara Tarr, Bernadette Luna, Sandy Dobson, Diane McLaughlin, and this last one surprised me a little bit. And we know each other, Emma Rossi. All right. I know you're, redecorating your room and you're trying to figure out the color palettes and everything else. I got it. But hey, drop us an email, okay, and let us know exactly where we can send this product for so that your fur baby can start getting the amazing relief that they're waiting for. Because as I was going through, okay, the ailments of these dogs, you start talking about things like you can tell, right, their gut and their immune system, okay, is low and not functioning well. Their itchy skin, okay, red snout, inflamed paws. Let me tell you a story. So Bay, she was a rescue, as many of you know, and she is very sensitive. Everything. her inside. She has PTSD. She has major anxiety. Okay. And that basically boils over into causing all of these, as Tanisha kind of, calls it, all these disorders within her body. Right. And then that leaves things open to the outside influences. So for her, if she even went on a walk, okay, to, go do her business, and they sprayed a different kind of pesticide on the grass, oh my gosh, her paws would come back. They'd be red and inflamed. We'd go to the park or we'd go to the beach. She'd lay down on the grass, and her whole underbelly, it would be just, there'd be sores on it the next day. Inflammation would be starting to set in. You can just tell that she was, her insides were very stressed. And ever since we got her on these products, Tanisha was just here the other day because she was obviously helping getting all these packages together for everybody. And she literally looked, she's like, Bay's underbelly is like a baby. It is so pink and so soft. And we just took her to the park yesterday. And then the week before that, I would say maybe less than a week, maybe 4 or 5 days, we took her to the beach. And remember, I told you she'd come back and she'd have sores all over herself and her underside. And she was just, and her paws inflamed. Nothing. None of that. And it's amazing. Okay. These products deliver on a cellular level. Okay. They're absorbed. They bypass the digestive process. We'll talk about why that's important. But these are things you can expect. Okay. If you have a dog where their snout is red and inflamed and itchy and they're licking all the time, that's an immune problem. Okay. They have an immune system deficiency. Their gut is out of whack. Okay. We will help get it back into that functioning, healthy state. Also, too, if you're looking at your dog and they have chronic pain, well, let me tell you another story with Bay. All right, she's like our dog with a million problems, but she don't have none no more. And she loves running. Okay, if you've seen her, she's a hunting, she's a pointing dog. All right. She's a pointer. She's not a retriever. She's a pointer. Summer and I were talking about this the other day when we were literally at the park. She will run to the ball. Okay. And she'll look at it and she'll run back. She will not retrieve it and bring it back. It's just kind of her thing. But she was running up and down with these beautiful German Shepherds. Okay. And if you know German Shepherds, all right, they are strong, healthy dogs, especially the ones super obedient. These ones at the dog park, man, they were running, and she was running with them. I fully expected. Summer and I talked about it. She's going to be slow moving tomorrow, right? She might even be limping. Okay. Prior to, she would limp for a couple of days. All right. Getting her kind of, her joints and her mobility back in place. Guys, nothing. Okay. Like, no mobility issues. Day 2, she's walking around. She's feeling great. I mean, the products, plain and simple, they work. And that's it. And so that's why we're so excited to get them in all of your hands so that you can. Hey, what's up, John? How you doing, my friend? Hey, Cindy. Hey, Dina. So that you guys can experience what we already are experiencing. And then you guys can shout it from the mountaintops that we have help. Help is on the way, and it is in the form of Pet Matrix. So that's super exciting. And we can't wait for you guys to get in your hands and experience everything we are. Now, I want you guys to remember something. As we talk about this, understand that this is supplementation. Okay, this isn't replacement. There's no amount of supplements that you can give your dog that will replace a good, healthy diet, that will replace a happy, healthy home that you provide for them, that will replace a loving environment that is nurturing for them. Dogs need that. They need that physical contact, just like we do. Okay, that's how they connect. Have you ever stared into your dog's eyes, okay, for 15 to 20 seconds? They say that they can see right through to your soul. And it's amazing if you take that time and just connect with your dog, like I'm sure a lot of you do. But continue that, okay? And remember, none of what we can provide, none of what any supplementation company can provide can replace any of that. All right. So it does start in the home. And that's one thing that really Summer brings to the table, alongside the obvious, amazing, creative direction that we're headed. Okay. When you start seeing everything, I mean, it's just everything is on point. But she really has taken it on herself to kind of carry that banner for making sure that in the home, you're doing everything you can, okay, from their food, all right, to their treats. I know you see them all the time. And she's going to talk to you a little bit about some very simple things that you can do, that you can spot, okay, to help enhance your dog's supplement experience. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Summer and Bay on. It looks like they're there. There they are. Hey, Summer.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Say hi, Bay. What's going on? I know she thinks it's treat time, right? Because we're sitting here already. She's like, why are we making treats today? I'm like, we can't make treats every day. So we're giving her a little organic red bell pepper right now. Super yummy for them. So that way she would stay up here and say hi. But yes, she is looking amazing and feeling amazing. And we definitely attribute that to not only these great supplements that we have, but changes that we've made in her every day with her food. So the one thing that I'm going to talk about in brief today, because there's a lot to cover where it's concerned, but we just want to start learning basic information and trickling it out so we can make changes at home. And it's hard when it's so much information. So we're going to talk about GMOs. So the U.S. is actually the world leader in genetically modified ingredients. They were brought onto the scene in the late 90s, really to put money into people's pockets, not really to do anything good for humans, pets, and the environment, but so they could make more money with their crops. Well, it's different. You know, people think, oh, it's just, biologically changing things. It's something that there's crossbreeding of things that happen all the time, but this is quite different because this isn't like, cross pollination or pollination. This is really where they're taking like bacterias and things and then cross pollinating it with or changing the DNA of things like soybeans and corn, which are a lot of the basis of most pet food out there, especially the kibble. And so that it becomes resistant to pests, right? So they want it to be able to grow and then to be able to take the pesticides and keep the pests away. So what happens now is you have an insane amount of chemicals and stuff that are laden into the food supply, and one of them being glyphosate. I think is how we pronounce it, glyphosate. And that actually, the World Health Organization has deemed that possible to be a cancer causing compound and in humans, but in pets, it's probable. And yet you see here in the US especially, they just continue to let it in the food supply. Where in places like New Zealand, they're completely illegal. And so we like to take a lot of our education and kind of what's going on with our dogs and even our own consumption to the world leaders in health, which are the areas of the world that really don't deal in GMO. The biggest changes in our pets and in their systems with we've seen more liver damage and kidney damage. 1 in 2 dogs is obese. 1 in 2 is likely to get cancer. And it is estimated that 70% of processed food has GMO. And so in this span of time, since they've introduced GMO into our food supply, not only in humans, but in pets, we have seen these consistent changes, negative changes, and in fact, degradation to our pets. And so with that, there's been a lot of studies to show what happens if we change their food, if we take this out of their food. And so one of the things we wanted to talk about too was that how we can avoid the GMOs, right? Because, well, it's easy if you feed organic, then you know right away if you're feeding whole organic food that you're not going to have any GMO. Another way is if the product happens to have that label that says Project Non-GMO Certified. But not every company goes through that system to, guarantee and put it out there. It is still a pay to play model. If you're familiar, that means, if I have a product like mine, which is non-GMO Pet Matrix, if I want that label, then I have to go through these processes and then pay and do all this kind of stuff, and it takes all kinds of time. But there are a lot of companies that don't use genetically modified ingredients, and they do say that on their label, and sometimes they don't, and you can simply ask. So what I've done for Bay is that if I'm not feeding her whole organic food that I've purchased and given her from home, then I am contacting those companies directly and asking them, because what they might say is that their product, they're not doing anything to genetically modify their product. But remember what we talked about before, you are what you eat, and so is your dog. So if you're feeding your dog, let's say beef, for example, and that product isn't genetically modified per se, it doesn't necessarily mean that the beef, the food or the feed that the beef is eating isn't genetically modified. And more likely than not, it is. And so we really have to go down through the layers of the food supply and that chain of where we're buying from to establish that it is in fact non-GMO. I'm in the process right now. I've had a lot of questions from people about things we can and cannot give, what I'm feeding. And, in this process, I've discovered things about some of the things that we had. And it isn't easy actually to find those resources that you can feel really confident about. So I'm getting together a list of some great companies that I'll be able to share with you in my research that have raw food, that also have treats. Last week we talked about the tendons. I was actually waiting for some confirmations back from a few of the companies that I'd reached out to see. And a lot of times we'll get, we try most of the time, but, we have this and this we can't guarantee over here or whatever it is. I found a new company that I'm going to be excited to share soon that recently everything that they do carry is none, and they had one more product line. It was actually their ducks, ingredients that came from the ducks that they couldn't guarantee, and they're actually in the process of even changing that right now. So more and more companies are really standing behind wanting to come forward in the marketplace and do the right thing. And so we're excited to share more of those with you. So make sure, take a look at what you have at home. Remember, these are things and changes. We've all been there. We fed Bay food for 7 years that, come to find out, we thought we were giving her some of the best dog food on the market. And we were giving her some of the most expensive terrible food on the market. So, with that, we can make our food changes at home. And then we also need to supplement, because now we're trying to reverse a lot of that system damage that's been created by those choices that we made in the past. And so start small, maybe check your food that you're eating now. And before you're getting ready to run out and buy some more kibble, one dog food brand I can think about right off the bat, which is a kibble brand, since a lot of pet owners serve kibble, is Gentle Giants. They are non-GMO, and they have really, really great, wonderful results with their products and their food. So, and they really are reasonable. So there's also a great video on it. If you're interested, I've dropped it into the Pet Matrix Facebook page that gives a whole lot more information and a lot of statistic about the impact of GMOs in our pets. So, and we'll be talking more and more about that as we go through these Wellness Wednesdays. So before I let you guys go, I also did want to chat about something else real quick. We're a huge fan of rescues. Rescues are vital to the dogs, to the animals. People adopt dogs all the time and are not necessarily prepared for what that brings, and then they just give them up, or maybe their dogs aren't spayed and neutered, and they're creating more puppies than people can handle. So we follow several, and one of the ones we really like is Wags and Walks. You can find them on Instagram. They're in Los Angeles, and I believe they have another location now in Nashville. They do a lot of great stuff. And right now, they actually are in need. They've got about 150 dogs in their rescue care, and about 60 of them are puppies. And so, with that, they need lots of food and lots of things. So if you head over to their Amazon or to their Instagram, Wags and Walks, you'll find all the info that you need on how you can help support them through their Amazon link. And then another great tool that they have is actually on this Saturday, they are doing a clinic to for vaccines. So if there is something that your dog needs, and or someone who maybe could use that resource because funds are low, they're going to be doing that on Saturday afternoons, and you can find that information on their Instagram as well. So thanks for hanging out with us today. Look at Bae. She's not happy with me because we didn't make more treats. She's like, feed me dinner, Mom. So we're going to have dinner. Yeah, I know.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bae. Appreciate you. Amazing. What we're talking about here is alternatives. Okay. Simple things you can do to show your dog that you care. Okay. Things that you would do for yourself, right? You care. We're getting into this day and age that we're caring more about what we are putting into our body. Okay. Whether that's supplementation, whether that's the foods that we eat, or anything like that. So why do we treat our dog any different? All you got to do is just a simple, little research. Okay. Find out about GMO. You don't want GMO. Listen. Okay. I believe and I love capitalism. Okay. I love the United States. All right. And but I'm going to tell you, okay, GMO is so big because what they can do is they can increase the volume, okay, of what they're producing without increasing the cost. Okay, so they're really kind of narrowing down the cost for you, and they can sell more product. And so what ends up happening is the dogs are the one who suffers at the end of the day. So because what we're looking to do is and I know we talk about this a lot, all right? We talk about extending the life of the dog, all right? Extending the quality of life of the dog. But you have to understand what's happening. What we're doing, okay, is we're slowing down their aging in order to gain life. We're not extending necessarily their life, okay, on this end. We're extending it here by slowing down the aging process. Remember, 7 to 10 times, okay, is what their metabolism runs faster than ours. That's why they say a dog ages, okay, 7 years to our 7 times, okay? And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to slow that down. So how do we do that? Well, I've been researching a lot, and I cannot find a pet supplementation product that's geared specifically towards extending the life of your dog. See, what we've been talking about with our immune product, with our pain and everything else, what that is, okay, is the quality of the life. Okay, we're helping them mobility wise, we're helping them with their gut, with their skin, with any type of allergies that they might have and things like that. Well, let's talk about, all right, really extending their life by slowing down, okay, the aging process. And that's going to lead us right into our next product here. Okay, and it's our final product line that we have here that we're coming out of the gate with Pet Matrix, and that is the longevity product. And I'm going to bring on no one other than our lead educator, okay, Tanisha, to go ahead and talk to you guys about the longevity product and the compounds that are within there. And you're going to notice there's a couple compounds in there that no one else is delivering to dogs because they can't. That's the answer, because they can't. We can. And I'm going to let Tanisha take it away. Hey, Nish.
Hello.
It's
Look,
all yours.
you guys. I know you guys are used to seeing Paka on screen right here, like on his perch. He's here. He's just napping. He's really tired today. He is napping. He's going through his body changes. So I just wanted to let you know that he's still here with us, but you just won't see him as much because he's sleeping. But let's talk about longevity, life extension. This is pretty much what we all want with our animals. We want to have them around as long as possible. We talked about GMOs today and how important that is to not just become aware, but to take action where we can. Because even in the human space and just as equally in the pet space, that's really where we have an opportunity to create change and decrease the compression on the metabolic system. What does that mean? When we are ingesting certain things that create stress in the body, that decrease the amount of oxygen in the body from so many different environmental factors, from things that we smell, from what we ingest, the quality of water or other liquids that we drink. These are all things that basically rob our body of the oxygen and accelerate the aging process. So, with that being said, what are some things that we can actually help support our dogs at home to help increase their vitality, to be able to increase and expand and extend their experience in longevity, to increase the amount of oxygen flow within their body? Well, this is where antioxidants come in. And there's absolutely going to be a couple of things that you might have heard us talk about, but the fun part is the things that we haven't talked about here. The great part, oh, here he is. He knows that there's some exciting stuff going on, so he wants to be seen. He loves attention, you guys. It's ridiculous. So, what are some things that we can help combat the decreased oxygenation within the body? Antioxidants. The first one that I'm going to talk about is something that you've heard us all talk about before, especially last week, but how it applies into this week. Let's talk about curcumin for a second. Curcumin is the active compound in turmeric, okay? It is a super antioxidant and it is a super anti-inflammatory. Why is this important when it comes to life extension, longevity? Because guess what? Where there is inflammation in the body, it basically opens up that door for infection, for disorder, for a state of dis-ease. So we know that if we can bring down the inflammation within the body, we can basically open up all this space for proper communication, healthy blood flow. What is the role of blood? Blood's number one job is to send and deliver nutrition, to send plasma, to deliver ions, and to eliminate waste. There's a lot of waste that builds up in the body over years and years and years, actually every single day. So curcumin has the ability to decrease inflammation, to help facilitate a lot of great flow within the body just by opening up that door to more space. Okay. Now, let's talk about something that I know I actually thought Will was going to drop the name of it when he was talking about life extension, but I'm pretty proud of him that he didn't.
I wasn't going to steal your thunder. Okay, I'll let you go.
I was like, he better not, I swear. So let's talk about something that is pretty critical. We actually have it within our body, but as we age, it starts to decrease. And there's a lot of compounds in the body that decrease as we age. But this one, very specific, what it's so great at is it helps to support what's severely declining in a way that really reframes and restructures the foundation of the metabolic rate. So, like I was talking about before, when we're consuming things and your dog is consuming food and treats and all these other things that are basically slowing down its metabolic rate. And if you don't know what that is, think of vitality, those healthy hormones, what supports your energy, what supports your stamina and your strength for the day. In essence, that is what your metabolic state is. So there is an amazing, amazing compound, and it's NAD plus. Okay. As we age, our body's ability to produce NAD plus goes down. So that means we basically lose this. I'm going to refer to it as the knight in shining armor. Okay. The knight in shining armor that supports the strength of our metabolic tone, our metabolic state, our strength, and our stamina. And as we age and as our dogs age with us, our dogs have that decline. So we can support that. And by supporting them, it basically helps them not just come into a neutral state, but to come into a higher state of operation, especially when it's being delivered through this system, because this is also one of those components in a nutritional formula for our dogs that we want to make sure, especially if they have poor digestion, that they're getting all of this NAD plus. And that's what we have the ability to do with how we are going to be delivering it into your dog's body. Okay, so now let's talk about something that we also talked about last week. However, it is in this as well because everything that it does to support your dog's body has everything to do with longevity, with that life extension. So we're going to talk about another master antioxidant, and it's abbreviated as GSH, but it's also glutathione. And it is one of those amazing antioxidants that supports the liver and immune system. So let's briefly touch on the liver for a moment. Last week and today, we're talking about GMOs, but last week we very specifically talked about quality of ingestion of dog food, making sure that we are consuming as much as possible quality, and decreasing the amount of stress on the liver. The liver is basically punched every single day by contaminants. Again, everything that your dog breathes, the grass that your dog is walking on, especially now in the inner cities or metropolitans or communities and HOA, they are spraying those chemicals everywhere, and your dogs are absorbing these chemicals through their paws. And Bay definitely used to have that outbreak that Will was referring to, those red paws walking on chemicals, essentially. Okay, so the liver has to combat that. If your dog has skin challenges or scaly skin or hot spot situations, not only is that a sign of inflammation, but that is also a sign that, okay, if my dog is inflaming, that means that my dog's liver is getting punched up by something. So glutathione has a wonderful way as the master antioxidant to help support the liver and boost the immune system, basically supercharging the cells of your dogs. Because guess what? Even though you can't see it, our skin, just like your dog's skin, cells create this. So on a micro level, this is just a bunch of cells stacked together to create matter. Okay, skin. And your skin, our dog's skin, is the largest organ within the body. So we want to be able to support all of those inner organs as well. Okay, let me know that makes sense to you guys if you guys are watching this live or even in the replay. Okay, now let's talk about another one. And this is a very, very special department because it very specifically is for a community of dogs. This is for our elder dogs, our dogs who are getting older. Maybe they have a little bit of challenges to where some dogs, they have a fogginess in their mind. They're just not really fully alert. They're slower to react because they're aging, because their oxidation is high, all of the different stressors that we've been talking about. We're going to talk about CoQ10. Let me know if you have ever heard of CoQ10. This is, I know glutathione is referred to as the master antioxidant. I kind of feel like CoQ10 is just at that same level because it does so much. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. CoQ10, it is not just great for cognition, it's not just great for senior dogs, but what makes it super great for senior dogs and expanding longevity is that it supports the brain, it supports dental health, it supports the cardiovascular system. You guys, dogs love to run, so they really need a strong cardiovascular system. And it supports their immune system. It is one of those antioxidants. Remember the role of an antioxidant. If we have an invader, foreign invader from some type of environmental, chemical stressor, an antioxidant has the ability to look at that invader and say, no, you're not coming in here, and it like annihilates that invader. That's how you want to think of an antioxidant. And there's different ranks of antioxidants of, who can do this versus who can do that. That's how you want to think of antioxidants. So CoQ10 does so many amazing things. and it supports so many different systems. Dental health, my favorite parts of CoQ10, especially for the senior dog community, my favorite parts are, oh no, now he's gonna go play. Cool. My favorite parts of CoQ10 are being able to support dental health because older dogs especially, have really bad breath. They have teeth that are rotting in their mouth. And what happens with that? When dogs are swallowing infection, it's going into their gut. Thank God we have immune and gut support. Yes. But you want to think of dental health as something really, really important, as well as last week we also talked about each tooth in the mouth is actually connected to an organ and gland in the body within Eastern philosophy. Everything is connected. So we want to be able to support that as much as possible too. Okay. So now, this is one of my, I don't want to say favorites because everyone seems to be really, really exciting on what everything can do. You guys, I just noticed, Paca? Oh no, those are feathers. These are Paca feathers, you guys. It's not bird poop. Even though that is a part of my everyday life. Okay, so let's talk about beta glucan 135. The easiest way to think of beta glucans, think of a scale, a balance scale. Okay, we have maybe this end of the scale is a little bit tilted, it's a little high, and then they get a little bit off balance, and then it's kind of just going like this, and it's teetering. Okay, beta glucan, in very short essence, has the ability to, again, look at those invaders to see who's coming. It acts as that super ninja still. It can annihilate anything. But what it does is it brings things back into balance. If something is stimulating the body to where the immune system is extremely overreactive, beta glucan 135 can be like, whoa, hold up. We're going to bring you back into balance really, really fast. So think about all of the different things that your dog is experiencing. Let's just use the simple example of the food that it consumes and the walk that you take it out on. If there are things that are going to stress the nervous system, like chemicals, some GMOs, all the extra stuff that's basically in the dog food or on the grass that's not really necessary, that's going to stress the immune system. And basically what will happen is your dog's immune system will go, whoa, we need to inflame. We need to get all of the chemical messengers going in this body and prepare for an attack. At that point, we have massive inflammation taking place. So beta glucan 135, what it has the ability to do is say, okay, well, let's inflate, but is this necessary? And if it's not necessary, it brings it back down into balance. That's really, really critical because when we have too much inflammation and we have an overreactive immune system, that's basically when the dog's body starts to operate in that state on a constant. And in human terms, that's what is referred to as an autoimmune. The body starts to attack itself. That absolutely can happen for dogs as well. And we don't want that to happen. So, okay, we're getting there. This is another one that we talked about last week, and this is bovine collagen. Again, as our dogs age, their own collagen production does not get higher, it gets lower. It declines as they age. So we want to be able to make sure that we can support our dogs in their bones, in their teeth, in their gut, in their tendons, in their ligaments, because if they're an active dog, if they're a pointer or any type of hunting dog or a herding dog, one of my favorite herding dogs, in case you didn't know, the dogs that have the cutest, fluffiest butts with the shortest little legs and long little bodies, corgis, those are herding dogs. As small as they are, but what makes those dogs so amazing is that because their legs are so short, they're able to cut really fast. I don't know what position that would be in football. Will would know. But in his experience of playing football for all those years, when you have to cut really fast because you have to herd a bunch of much larger animals like so many other dog breeds, imagine the amount of joint pulling and stiffness and stress that creates in the hips and the joints of the dogs. So supporting dogs with collagen can help to reinforce that and also even support the lining in their gums within their mouth as well, because that's really, really critical too. Make sense? Let me know that it does, please. All right. This is one of my favorites. And I know that I've been saying that with everything that we're talking about, but it's true. This is one of my favorites, not because it's so great, but because it's one of the most adulterated nutrients available in the supplement space. And this is omega-3. Omega-3 most often comes in the form of fish oil, and the majority of it that is available on the market is basically, by the time you get it, completely rancidified. What does that mean? It's over oxidized, it's been overly processed, it's been sitting on the shelf for so long. By the time that you actually get it, it's probably been in a bottle or a capsule for, I don't know, at least a year and a half by the lot number, the 2-year time frame. But then again, how long has it been in a capsule before it was actually bottled? All these different things. How sensitive is it to light, the type of bottling that it's in? It's a whole thing when you get into oils, and omega-3 is delivered most often in an oil form. So with this, again, pairing in how we are delivering this into the body, being able to deliver this and having it be so bioavailable and being able to hit the body so fast, we don't have to worry about this because number one, it's oil free, and number two, it's very deliverable. But what does it actually help with? Omega-3 is another anti-inflammatory, and it helps to support cognition. So it helps to bring clarity in the brain. One of my favorite things about omega-3 is that it is absolutely a kidney support. The kidneys, basically, they are the vital energy little power plants, as I like to refer to. They're these two little, they look like little lima beans. They're very, very small, and they power up the whole body. They actually power up bone metabolism, how bone is actually able to build up versus break down. The power comes from your kidneys. So being able to support that is super, super important, obviously. Omega-3 also supports the heart, the skin, healthy fur, and eye health. Because it's such a power anti-inflammatory as well for dogs who have challenges with their vision as they get older, guess what? A lot of vision challenges aren't necessarily due to poor vision, but it's actually due to inflammation that's taking place along the nerve. So let's just say this is the eyeball, and this is the nerve that is connected to the eyeball. If this nerve right here has a lot of inflammation, which most dogs do, right? That creates stress and pressure to where it actually contributes to blurring the vision. So you want to think of all these things and how inflammation actually plays its role in the body aside from just being inflamed. It has a whole cascade and all these different pathways that are basically generated from operating in an anti-inflammatory state. And when we have decreased inflammation and we have optimal body regulation, we have true longevity, that quality of life, that happy operation, that vibrant brain, that quality vision, that joyful smile that dogs can actually create. Dogs smile. They really, really do. They show their teeth, and it's so adorable. We want to be able to continue that. We want to see those little wiggles in their booties because they're so happy because they feel good. We don't want to see dogs in wheelchairs. We don't want to see dogs with casts on. I saw a dog walking today with a neon pink leg cast, a whole leg cast, and a cone. And because we're doing this and we're bringing this pet line out through Pet Matrix, it literally makes you look at those 1-minute situations so differently. So that is what we are out here to do, and especially with longevity coupled up with the remaining products that we have working together, we are so confident that this is literally going to change the entire life of not just your dog, but you too.
Well, I don't know what I could possibly add to any of that, but look what I found. So those of you who don't know, Summer's upstairs in our kitchen area, and I'm downstairs in the working area over here, and we're all working and whatnot. And so she decided to come down here and join me. Tanisha, thank you so much.
Sure.
the
Thank
amount of
you.
the amount of knowledge that you bring to the table is not overlooked, and we appreciate it so much. And Pet Matrix is a better place because you're here helping educate, and we appreciate that, Tanisha.
I'm happy to do it. Thank you.
Excellent. Wow, you guys, I'm going to tell you, you hear about Tanisha speaking passionately about these compounds. And, I just want to touch on a couple quick things, right? She talked about the stress that that our dogs end up going through, and their livers in particular, right? And I want you to, there's two words, one Latin phrase that I want you to think about. And those of you who've heard this before know, and I believe I know pretty much the ones that have heard this before, but it is something we really believe in, and that's quantum satis. And quantum satis basically means the amount that is enough. Okay. And it's referred to QS you might see on maybe some medicine, pharmaceuticals that you might have, because it's a medical term. It's a pharmaceutical term, and it means the amount that's enough. That's what you should be giving. Well, the problem is that when it comes to oils and lipids like omega-3, okay, you do curcumin, okay, these things cause a lot of stress on the dog's liver because they have to digest it. They have to process everything that's ingested. Okay, we understand that, right? You have to process everything that's ingested. That's why you might see with some of the pet supplements that you might have been using, okay, a lot of enzymes in there, okay? And that's to help break down all the extra, because before anything is ingested, there has already been medical research that can quantify exactly the percentage of bioavailability, the rate at which something can be absorbed. Okay, so to give you an idea, okay, our dogs can absorb, okay, curcumin at a rate of about 5 to 10%. Well, common sense would tell you, and math would tell you, what happens to the other 90 to 95%. Their body has to break it down, and it has to be gone through waste. Their liver has to break it down, and it has to be put into waste. The more we tax our dog's liver, because it's so small in proportion to the size of their body, the more stress we put on their life, and we actually shorten that already short lifespan. Fatty liver disease, increased P450 liver enzymes, and so on. So they have to add these other enzymes in order to help break down the waste. Well, guess what? We've solved the problem. Okay, we have no waste. Okay, that's why we can deliver in micrograms directly, okay, to the cells within their body, completely bypassing the digestive process, so we don't have to have enzymes. Oh, and by the way, all of our products are non-GMO.
They are.
Okay, and so all we're looking to do is help increase their time here with us by decreasing the amount of stress on their body. Okay, help increase the energy within their cells. Things like coenzyme Q10, CoQ10. Okay, that's energy, cellular energy. It's cardiovascular energy for them, something they desperately need because they're robbed of that all day, every day in the things that they do. The oxidative stress, the free radicals they have roaming around. Okay, glutathione, GSH, okay, solves that problem. I actually saw a post on Facebook today. I believe it might have been from Cindy Amon or maybe Dina Taylor, who was talking about feeding the dog some antioxidants, blueberries. Okay, and that's great. That's an amazing treat for the dog. Okay. And glutathione works hand in hand with the major antioxidants that blueberries have, because it helps and it can contribute, okay, to lending electrons to other antioxidants like what the blueberries contribute to their system. So having GSH in there is amazing.
Yes. If you do feed any blueberries as treats or anything, 2 blueberries per pound of your dog per day.
There you go.
Those are their treats.
Perfect. So we're giving them the antioxidants to reduce the oxidative stress. Okay. If your dog has a very gray muzzle, it's actually, we were over at my dad's this past weekend, and my brother, I asked him how old his dog was, because super vibrant, super everything, but the muzzle was very, very gray.
Right.
And
so in comparison, Bay's 8. And she just is starting
to get a little gray in the muzzle, right? Kind of like me. Okay. But I'm turning 49 this year. Okay. So mine's coming on.
She's 7. How old is she? Do the math. Right?
Yeah. So his dog is 5 years old. And I'm like, bro, your dog has some major oxidative stress going on. And he looked at me and his eyes open. He's like, what? I said, let me explain it to you.
Yeah.
Okay. You're robbing your dog of their life is what's happening. And I know we don't intend to do it. Okay. This isn't a guilt trip. All right. We're not trying to sit and say you're a bad fur parent. Okay. What we're trying to do is help you and give you alternatives like Summer did up in the kitchen, giving alternatives, things you can look at, changes, very simple changes you can make in your kitchen at home and add these amazing supplements to it. And I promise you, your dog will thank you. You'll extend not only their quality of life, but the quantity of life by slowing down the process, by giving them their cells, the energy that they need, that they're constantly, listen to this, your dog's cells are constantly robbed of the energy that they need through oxygen, through NAD+. Okay. By the way, you can go into your local IV center, or you might have one next to you, and you can ask them for an NAD+ injection. Okay. And it's going to cost you, okay, an arm and a leg. Okay. You're talking about somewhere between maybe $600 to $900 for an injection, depending on where you're located. Okay. And that's because NAD+ gets immediately metabolized within the body. So oral consumption of NAD+ isn't a realistic, proposition for you, because you won't achieve or you won't receive the benefits. Your dog won't either.
It actually doesn't like a liquid format for stabilization. So that's why you don't see it in like a pill for, over the counter.
Exactly. Well, you can get some, okay, but it's worthless.
No.
Unless you get a Pet Matrix product, because through our delivery, not only are we bypassing the digestive process and deliver directly to the cells, but we also protect those valuable compounds within, our delivery system. So what it does is when it's orally ingested, which our dogs are doing, it's going through their digestive process, but it's bypassing it and going directly to the cells where it's needed. So I'm telling you, it's amazing.
It's really just about this awareness at the end of the day. We've lived years with what an industry has told us is right or good. We've trusted what's on the shelves or even what's being offered to us by the vet. I spoke with someone at a Super Bowl party, and their dog is eating the vet prescribed pet food. Well, there's lots of interesting things about that vet prescribed pet food. You can learn on that documentary Pet Food if you haven't watched it yet. And again, we can't be hard on ourselves. We made the decisions and the choices that we made with the information that we had. And now we know that there's more and we can find out more. And we will continue to do that and continue to share that with you, and so that we can all have our dogs live healthier, happier, longer.
Absolutely. And I'm going to ask you guys, please tune in next week. Okay. We are going to talk about exactly when we are launching Pet Matrix to the public, how you can be involved in that. Okay. And we would love for all of you to be involved in it. Please invite your friends and families to next week. Okay. Friends and family who have dogs. Okay. Or even have pets. All right. Because we are going to be extending the line to our feline friends, to our avian friends, and to their equine friends as well. Because everybody needs it. And I'm going to leave you with this. Okay. Quantum satis, right? The amount which is enough. And what that means in terms of deliverability and what you're ingesting is that your dog is going to get exactly the amount that is needed with no waste. So now we're not taxing that already overburdened liver. Okay. And we're delivering energy to the cells. We're protecting those cells, and we are protecting them from free radicals. Okay. So that they can keep their oxygen and keep their energy, and healthy cells equal a happy dog at the end of the day. Thank you so much, everybody. We really, really appreciate your time. And please, please join us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel for our Pet Wellness Wednesday. And I'm going to bring Tanisha on here and Paka and
Hey,
say,
girl.
and say thank you all so
she's
much.
right
Oh, here
here.
she comes.
Hey, you come say
You
hi?
want to come say hi, Key?
Come say hi?
Oh, come say hi, Key.
There she is.
Say hi to everybody. Say hi. She loves her
Get
spot.
Get her booty in there.
There
Get her booty in there.
we go. There she is, big girl.
All right, guys.
Oh, thank
Thanks,
you.
Dad.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody. All
Thank
right. Have a
you.
great night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you next week. And for all of you, be looking for those packages. We can't wait to start getting
Yes.
those back. And please, we got 5 of you where we need your address.
Check your email.
Check your emails. Get back to us. Go ahead, Nish.
And when you get your packages, post them on Facebook, please. We want to
Yeah,
see.
remember. Yeah, don't listen. We know we love our animals, but just remember there's other households that love their dogs just as much as you do. So don't be stingy with the information. Share it. Okay. They will thank you for it. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Bye.